GitHub Copilot just went from helpful to fully autonomous. You can now assign it an issue and it'll test, debug, fix, and even open a pull request entirely on its own. No IDE, no manual input. This isn't autocomplete anymore. It's agentic software development, live inside GitHub. Unveiled at Build 2025, the new Copilot agent marks a major shift in how developers interact with code. It initiates tasks, runs workflows, and integrates directly into your repo like a teammate. Here's how it works, what it means, and why it changes the way software gets built. Starting now, what is Copilot agent? Copilot becomes an agent. GitHub Copilot started as a coding companion, an AI tool designed to suggest and complete code within your IDE. It helped speed up development by predicting what you were trying to write. But at every step, it required your input. You had to type, guide, and approve. That's no longer the case. In 2025, GitHub officially rolled out Copilot Agent, a new version of the tool originally teased as Project Padawan. Unlike its earlier version, the Copilot Agent acts independently. It doesn't just auto-complete your code. It reads issues, writes fixes, runs tests, and submits pull requests without constant supervision. And the key difference, it works asynchronously. You no longer need to sit there waiting for suggestions. You assign an issue to Copilot Agent directly within GitHub. Just like assigning it to a human colleague, the agent replies with an eyes emoji, signaling it has taken over and started resolving the task. Copilot Agent doesn't replace the human developer, but it automates the routine parts of the workflow, saving time and reducing manual overhead. From file navigation to code validation, it now functions as a background teammate operating inside your GitHub environment. This update reflects a much bigger move toward autonomous AI and software engineering. Not just supporting devs, but acting within live production workflows. What's Copilot Agent? What does Copilot Agent do actually does in the background? Once a developer assigns an issue, GitHub's Copilot Agent immediately begins executing a full chain of actions autonomously. The process starts by triggering a GitHub Actions workflow to spin up a virtual machine, leveraging GitHub's existing infrastructure used for automated CI/CD operations. After the virtual environment is live, the agent clones the repository, giving itself access to the most current version of the project's codebase. From there, the agent uses Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RA, to analyze the repository. This allows it to search across the codebase and related documentation, pull relevant files, and gather necessary context. Unlike basic code generation, RAA enables the agent to combine real-time data from the repository with AI-generated reasoning. It doesn't operate blindly. It cross-references patterns, examines previous commits, and evaluates the surrounding logic to understand the issue in depth. In addition to this, Copilot Agent takes into account past pull request discussions, repository-specific instructions, and the existing coding style or formatting rules. Once it has enough context, it begins modifying the code. Whether the task involves fixing a bug, resolving a configuration error, or restoring a missing component, the agent edits the necessary files and runs tests to validate the changes. If a test fails, it automatically iterates on the solution, continuing until the code passes validation, mirroring the behavior of a human developer throughout the entire process. Copilot Agent logs its reasoning, decisions, and validation steps. This level of transparency allows developers to review what was done and why. Once the agent completes its task, it opens a pull request and tags the original developer for review and approval. The entire workflow happens without manual intervention, offering developers a way to delegate routine tasks without losing visibility. For teams managing large code bases or frequent testing cycles, this functionality has the potential to significantly reduce friction and free up time for more strategic development work. Before we move forward, consider subscribing to AI Uncovered if you haven't already. We break down the latest in AI and emerging tech clearly, concisely, and without the hype. Why? Why this changes how devs work. Forever. This changes how devs work forever. Before this update, AI and code was largely reactive. You typed, and it responded. Every keystroke had to come from the developer. Tools like Copilot were helpful, but only in a supportive role, always waiting for input. Now that dynamic shifts, Copilot agent can initiate tasks and complete them independently, running in parallel to what the developer is doing. This introduces the possibility of asynchronous development workflows where the AI operates on its own timeline while the human focuses elsewhere. For example, a developer can assign 5 separate issues to Copilot agent. Each one is handled in the background while the developer works on something else, writing logic, planning architecture, or addressing unrelated bugs. The human and the AI are no longer locked into the same task loop. That change reduces several long-standing bottlenecks. No more manually cloning repositories. No need to navigate the file structure for every fix. No repetitive bug tracing or constant retesting. Copilot agent quietly handles those layers in the background. GitHub's Chief Product Officer, Mario Rodriguez, described this in a May 2025 interview with Venturebe. He said, "Before your productivity was limited by the fact that you had to be there pressing every keystroke. Now you could be doing one task, and Copilot could be executing 5 others." In short, this update allows developers to delegate not just to other team members, but to the AI itself. Copilot moves from being a passive assistant to an active participant in the software development lifecycle. How MCP unlocks even more Copilot agent MCP power for Copilot. One of the most important but less visible upgrades to Copilot agent is its integration with MCP, short for Model Context Protocol, developed by Anthropic. MCP is an emerging interoperability standard for AI agents designed to enable communication across different platforms and data sources. In practical terms, this means that Copilot agent isn't limited to the data in your repository. If it hits a missing link, say a broken image reference or a missing config file, it can reach out to another system's MCP server, retrieve the required data, and continue solving the issue. This bridges a critical gap in many autonomous workflows. The lack of external context. Traditionally, if an AI couldn't find what it needed locally, it would fail or generate a generic solution. With MCP, Copilot agent can request missing context in real time, improving accuracy and reducing reliance on hard-coded assumptions. This also positions Copilot agent as part of a growing agentic ecosystem, one where multiple AI agents, each operating in different domains, can collaborate through shared protocols. For developers, this means less handholding. If a bug depends on external documentation, metadata, or an asset stored elsewhere, Copilot can now go find it on its own. Why GitHub made this move, make this move now? GitHub's shift toward autonomous software development didn't happen in isolation. It's responding to intense competition in the AI development tool space, one that's evolving faster than ever. Today, developers have access to advanced code generation from multiple fronts. ChatGPT, powered by GPT-4, has already proven capable of writing, explaining, and even debugging code across dozens of languages. Claude by Anthropic and Gemini by Google have also introduced features aimed specifically at developers, offering code suggestions, error analysis, and context-rich generation. Meanwhile, Google's Code Assist is making direct inroads into enterprise workflows with AI-supported development environments. Adding to that, OpenAI released its own software engineering agent, a direct move into autonomous coding. These agents, like GitHub Copilot agent, aim to handle not just completion, but task-level execution across entire projects. For GitHub, owned by Microsoft, this is about more than keeping pace. Their strategic advantage lies in deep integration with GitHub repositories, workflows, and CI/CD pipelines. Copilot agent builds on years of developer usage patterns already embedded in GitHub's ecosystem. By making this move now, GitHub is working to preserve its relevance in a space where AI isn't just supporting development. It's beginning to reshape Rise of Asynchronous AI Development The rise of asynchronous AI development. The introduction of GitHub Copilot agent isn't just a feature release. It reflects a broader shift in how development work is structured. At the center of this shift is asynchronous agentic development. In traditional workflows, developers and teams work synchronously. You file an issue, fix it, test it, and commit one step after another. But with agents like Copilot, that sequence changes. Tasks can be delegated to AI and executed in parallel without constant human supervision. This benefits both solo developers and large organizations. For individuals, it enables more output without stretching capacity. For teams, it reduces bottlenecks caused by context switching, manual testing, and repetitive fixes. Developers can focus on core logic, architecture design, and big-picture thinking while the agent manages the routine tasks in the background. The result is a more scalable workflow, one where code doesn't sit idle waiting for someone to find time. It gets picked up, handled, and iterated by an AI teammate running asynchronously. This model is now becoming more realistic as agentic frameworks mature. As tools like Copilot Agent evolve, the idea of AI as a proactive collaborator rather than a passive assistant is taking hold across the software industry. The vision behind Copilot Agent for GitHub. Copilot Agent for GitHub, the evolution of Copilot isn't just about automation. It's about enabling a shift in how developers allocate their time and attention. According to GitHub Chief Product Officer Mario Rodriguez, the goal is to let developers step away from repetitive maintenance and spend more time on the kind of work that requires human creativity. In his words, Copilot can work on the other projects and I could work on the one that needs me as a human. This vision aligns with the broader trend in software development using AI not just to save time, but to amplify human focus by automating testing, debugging, and context resolution. Copilot Agent removes the need to manage every small issue manually. In that sense, this isn't just a productivity upgrade. It's a fundamental change in how developers interact with their code bases and how they divide their attention between tactical execution and strategic thinking. GitHub is positioning Copilot Agent not as a replacement, but as a resource, one that works in the background, learns from context, and helps developers move faster toward what they're building next. If you've made it this far, let us know what you think in the comment section below. For more interesting topics, make sure you watch the recommended video that you see on the screen right now. Thanks for watching.